This video is sponsored by Bear Motion. Find great cases at bearmotioncase.com.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Robert here, and today we will be taking a look at the new iPhone 5S and really reviewing the phone and seeing if it's worth an upgrade from your 4S, or maybe worth an upgrade from your Android phone, or overall just worth a purchase. And we will be taking a look at mainly the new aspects that Apple's included this year. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and take a look at is the overall hardware of the new iPhone, and all of the iPhones have been very well known for its hardware, and this iPhone 5S is really no exception. I personally got the Space Gray edition and I'm really happy I did. It looks very beautiful and I think looks a lot better than the more black edition that was out last year. And there's also the new gold edition, and there's also a silver edition which we have seen on the iPhone 5. Now, like I was saying, this iPhone 5S is very similar to the iPhone 5. On the back we got the Apple logo and the two glass parts on the top and the bottom. And on one side we got the volume rockers plus the vibrate switch, we got the SIM card tray on the other slot, and on the top we got the power button, and on the bottom we got the lightning port, headphone port, and the speakers, pretty much identical to the iPhone 5. On this one we just got the new fingerprint sensor, but other than that, this phone is very well built and looks like the iPhone 5. Now, taking a look at the iPhone 5S next to the HTC One, these two are the top and premium devices in their market right now. One's running Android, one's running iOS 7, and both of these phones are very similar in the fact that they're built out of aluminum, and people say that these are the more premium, more high-end phones, and I definitely have to agree. The iPhone 5S has that 4-inch screen, and it also feels very well weighted, and I like that compared to the HTC One. But then again, on the HTC One, it has a bigger screen which will allow for better media consumption, and it's got that curved back which is very easy to handle in the hand, and it's got those amazing boom speakers on the front of the phone that we really have come to enjoy. Now, the one new thing that has been included in the hardware of the new iPhone 5S is the fingerprint scanner, and like everybody else, I thought this was going to be a gimmick, but it has worked very well and I've enjoyed the fingerprint scanner, and it's going to be really hard to go back to a different phone that I can't unlock quickly without setting a passcode. So one thing that has also improved on the new iPhone 5S is the new camera, and it has larger pixels which will allow the phone to take in more light, and it has an f2.2 compared to an f2.4 on previous devices such as the iPhone 5 and the 4S, and the phone has really proved to be a great phone to take low light pictures in, and overall it will create less noisy pictures when there's minimal lighting outside. Now, another cool thing that it has is continuous burst mode, and as you can see I'm doing it here. You pretty much hold the shutter button and it will take a bunch of pictures, and then you can go ahead and pick which one is the best. Apple also select its favorites, and you guys can go ahead and just choose the ones that Apple has chosen. Now, the front facing camera on this phone is also not bad. It's the standard front facing camera, and overall Apple does a great job and it looks great. Now, as you guys can see, this is a little demo of 720p 120 frames per second slow-mo, and it looks nice, and I've been using this feature on the iPhone 5S quite a bit. Now, that pretty much wraps up the camera, and it's a lot better than the iPhone 5 and is definitely a selling point for Apple. Now, with the new iPhone comes a new Apple chip, and this time it's the A7, which is 2 times faster than the one on the iPhone 5, and the graphic performance is supposed to be better, and overall it has a 64-bit processing system which we don't really see used in the phone at the moment, but as you can see I have a gaming test here and there is no stutter at all. And for now, the iPhone 5 chip and the 5S chip are about identical. They play games very similarly, but hopefully we'll see more 64-bit games and something that will really challenge the iPhone 5S. Now, the A7 chip also has to run iOS 7, and that is no problem at all. The iPhone 5 runs it great, but that 5S is just a speed demon on this phone. and iOS 7 runs really smoothly. I've had no problems. There has been a few bugs, but that's iOS 7's fault, not the chip being slow or anything of that sort. And overall, I've had a very pleasant experience, especially being a full-time Android user. This iPhone experience was great, and I really loved the minimal look on iOS 7, which is definitely a factor when you're buying this phone. iOS is a very simple-minded platform, and when you need to get a job done, it's really easy, and Apple has placed all the necessary needs on the home screen or in the menus. And overall, iOS 7 runs fast on the new iPhone 5s and performs great. Now, Apple has also included another processor called the M7. Now, this will know when you're sitting, walking, or driving in a car, and hopefully we get some more apps in the App Store that take use of it, but there are a few now that will let you track your steps and do simple things like that. Now, we can't really talk about the iPhone 5s without talking about the battery life, and it's said to have a 10% bigger battery than the iPhone 5, and everybody's really getting varying results. In my opinion, the 5s battery is excellent compared to my HTC One, but others beg to differ, and really, it's really weird debacle that everybody's having about the 5s battery. I personally have had great tests and can't really say anything bad about it. It really gets me through the day, not too much more, but that's all I really need. Now, being an Android user most of the time, coming to this iPhone 5s has really been different, but I've had a pleasant experience, especially with the fingerprint scanner. Although many of you might not care about it, I've really enjoyed the experience, and I really don't know how I can go back to an Android phone without that feature. Now, if you're upgrading from a 4S or you have an Android phone that's 2 years old and your 2-year contract is up, then I think that you guys should definitely pick up this phone. It's going to be night and day compared to your old phone, and this phone runs really fast and also has some cool features that other phones don't. Now, a lot of people have also talked about the camera and the camera compared to the HTC One. Now, in my opinion, I like this phone better than the HTC One because of the camera and because of the smaller screen, but it really comes up to if you're an Android fan or an iOS fan. And overall, this phone is great. Not a big step up from the iPhone 5, but definitely something to look forward to, and it's a really forward-thinking phone, which is great to see from Apple. So thank you guys for watching, and be sure to check out the rest of the Gadget Guru videos, and especially our iPhone 5s coverage, and that about wraps it up. So thank you for watching, and leave your opinions down below.